Hi everyone, thank you for joining our January California Brokers Business Accelerator webinar. We are excited to have our Northern California broker Jeff Green, Temecula broker Mary Jane Morris, and our Los Angeles broker Omar Hellman all on the call today. Before we begin, I would just like to say how happy we are to now offer a ton of great free marketing tools to all of our agents, which are available in the AJI University. Our goal is to always give back to our agents by offering the newest tools and technology to you. None of this would be possible without you and your amazing amount of agent referrals to AJI. As Allison James continues to grow, with agents referring other agents to our brokerage, we will be able to provide more of these tools to you. And remember, you can earn a monthly or yearly residual payment simply by having an agent join us. All you need to do is contact Jeff Jabora or Alicia Aratari in our National Growth and Development Department and provide them with the contact information of the agent who you would like to refer over. And with that being said, I would now like to pass it over to Shelley Hoyseth, Senior Loan Officer with our preferred lender, Movement Mortgage. Good morning, Shelley.
Good morning. Hi, everyone. Thank you so much. Happy Wednesday. One thing we talked about, we've had a couple of seminars lately, and they've been really great, kind of on the topic that Omar is going to be discussing today. But one thing that we talked about yesterday at the San Diego seminar is we were talking about our why. And it's become a little cliche, I think, of people posting a picture of their spouse or their child or their puppy and saying, this is my why, why we're in the business, why we're out pounding the pavement, why we're doing this. And the bottom line is we're doing it for money, right? We want to make money, and we need to make money so that we can provide for all of our family and our ministries and our goals and all of those good things. So my question to the agents yesterday, and my question to you guys is, how many commissions can you afford to lose this year because a buyer is suddenly not qualified at the last minute before closing? Maybe the bank for that borrower says, oh, we didn't realize that this was a condo and this isn't FHA or VA approved, or oh, we missed the unreimbursed employee expenses on the tax returns, or you name it. I know you guys, if we were live like they were yesterday, you could give me 6 reasons why deals have fallen apart at the last minute due to the lender. So if you are not 100% confident in the lender on your team once you're in escrow, because let's face it, the most important member of the team once you've opened escrow is the lender, because we've got to get it closed, right? If you're not 100% confident that when you put something in escrow, you know it's going to close, then I would really encourage you to give me a call. Let's talk about Movement Mortgage's 7-day process. We do close, 70% of our loans are cleared to close in 7 business days. And talk about the way that we set up the funding when we send our loan documents. We just really save a lot of time. I've harped on this a lot, and I don't want to take up all of Omar's time, but I do really want you to think about that. As you're opening escrow, how confident are you that it's going to close? I just had a recent simultaneous closing where the seller was also buying another home, and they were trying to do it all in 30 to 45 days, and her buyer on her house could not perform because their lender messed up something and couldn't perform. Of course, that's 2.5 weeks in. She's panicking because she has to buy the next property. And it's no big deal. We take over with the next buyer. We're able to still close on the original closing date because we do close our loans in 20 days or less. Doing one in 15 days is not a big deal. So don't let deals die. Don't panic. Call me first. If you have a loan officer 911 or a loan rescue, give me a call, email, and I'll help you out. Okay? I am going to pass it off to Jeff Green, our broker in Northern California.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Brokers Business Accelerator. We have kind of revamped our monthly broker webinar, and we're going to be adding some really cool features to it and hope to have this grow into a very useful tool for you throughout the upcoming year. So as you listen today, and if you have any feedback, please contact your broker and let them know what you thought about the format, what you thought about what we're intending to do, and any ideas, any topics, any questions that you might have that you think we could address to our agents to help better equip them to do the work that is so important to them, as Shelley talked about, making a great living and having a wonderful career. So the basic format is going to be like this. We're going to be covering hot tips to advance your business. There'll be 3 modules, hot tips to advance your business. And then every month we want to bring on a featured agent, somebody who's doing a really good job out there in the field that has a unique idea, and it's going to be one of you, be one of your peers, and it might be one of you that's listening today. You may have something really unique that you're doing with your business, and you might find that it's something you could share. And there's the old saying, once taught is twice learned, so it's really good to share what you know and help develop other people around you and help give back. And then the final module of our webinar is going to be keeping it legal, where we'll talk about some of the gotchas that are out there that if you don't know about, you could end up having problems with compliance and trouble, possibly even fines or penalties, which we really like to try to help you guys avoid. And it could be as simple as, wow, I didn't know I've got a digit wrong on my BRE number. I didn't know I could be fined for that, you know, or it could be something more complicated in terms of the wording on advertising, or it could be something that has to do with your contracts or your paperwork. So we're going to be talking about all those things and try to make it proactive rather than reactive, help you solve problems and advance your business. So today, rather than having a featured agent, we're going to feature our new brokers. We have Mary Jane Morris from the Riverside County area, Temecula, Murrieta, all those areas, and Omar Hellman, who is covering Los Angeles and Orange counties. I've had the opportunity to speak with both of these brokers, and I consider them to be first-rate. They have a great wealth of experience and knowledge, and they're going to add a lot to the company. Now, one of the things that you'll find out is we're like a statewide office, so we interact, we help each other. A lot of times there's referrals up and down the state, and it's good to know who the brokers are in different areas. So having said that, we're going to start with Omar, who's going to talk a little bit about his background and also some areas that have to do with internet marketing and leads, and he'll explain it more to you. So, Omar, take it away.
Thank you, Jeff. I appreciate that, and welcome everybody. I wanted to first just tell you a little bit about me. I've been in the business for a little over 13 years. Started on the mortgage side of things and transitioned over the real estate end, kind of when the crash happened, of course, and that's what I've been doing since then. A little bit about my background in terms of sales. I've been selling since the initial start, 2002, but just recently we've obviously been here more in the Los Angeles and Orange County market, kind of more management and understanding what agents need to help grow their business. Our goal simply is just to make sure that we're there for support, giving them what they need to succeed. Essentially, my background is really in lead generation, finding what leads work, what type of leads work, what works best for agents, and how to get more business from them. I have a background with a few of the online companies that you probably have heard of already. Redfin.com is one of the bigger brokerages that's more online based. I've worked with them in the past. I've also worked with Realtor.com. So I understand the platforms that they've set up for agents to be able to generate leads and also understand how they can convert them better. Some of the things that a lot of agents don't understand or just have not really grasped yet is how to nurture these leads into transactions. The most important thing, and some of these details may have been stated yesterday at the meeting in San Diego, but I want to reiterate them because they're very important. Going through my experiences in selling to online leads, it really has been a very meticulous approach in how you deal with these people, because they are talking to not just one, but probably multiple agents. And essentially, you're going to have to be that first person that gets in touch with them every time. If you miss the boat on that first initial contact, the lead is gone. Essentially, throw it down the drain and move on, because they're not going to remember you. It's that simple. Within that first 5-minute time frame of them submitting a lead or submitting a request to speak with an agent or look at a property, you have to be on top of it, whether it's through text, email, phone call, however you can get to them. You have to get to them in that first 5 minutes. There's obviously other things that you can do to try to convert them better as you go. One of those things is follow-up. Follow-up is extremely essential. I'll give you some examples. Some of the most important things you do after that first 5 minutes of contact is setting an appointment, going through the process of if they're a qualified lead or not. Are they going to be wasting your time, or are they simply just looking for information? All of those details will kind of will play out during your follow-up process. But I also wanted to talk about what lead systems work really well for people, and the experiences that I've had along with some of the agents that I've worked with in the past and what they are doing. The first tip I guess I could give you is set a spending budget for these leads. Online leads is a great way to generate business if you don't have any business, if you don't have maybe a database of people that you've been in contact with before. Essentially, you're starting new, or you're trying to generate more business. Whatever the case may be, you have to look at different platforms. Obviously, we've heard of the Zillows, the Trulias, the Realtor.coms, but there are others. There are tons of others. And what you have to do is set a budget. For instance, Zillow and Trulia, they're now one entity. The most important thing that a lot of agents do not understand is they're not going to guarantee you leads. Those two entities, or one entity now, are basically going to provide you exposure. And when you do get the exposure, the most important thing that people look for are reviews. How do you get reviews? You wow your clients and you ask them to provide you with a review of your services, and maybe you give them a $5 or $10 Starbucks gift card for doing that review and say as a thank you. It's not trying to kind of persuade them to do a better review, but essentially you're thanking them for the review. The more reviews you get on these two sites, the more people will find you, and the higher up on the list you will be. Obviously, you have to be a premier agent with them, and they are the biggest as of right now. So I would suggest that if you are going to start getting leads from them, get your reviews up, start increasing your visibility, putting a really good profile out there. And if you need help with some of those details, I'll be glad to assist you in that. But most importantly, set a budget, because obviously you're not going to get a lot of leads if you spend very little. The biggest agents that I've worked with in the past that have had the most success with this are the people who spend more money. Generally, the more you spend, the more leads you get, the more at-bats you get. And if you have a system that allows you to follow up quickly, whether it's you or an assistant, it will help you with conversion rates very quickly. Setting up a person that's designated to maybe follow up with that lead at the first onset, and kind of throughout that process of getting in contact with that person, setting the appointment, those are the most critical steps. But getting the at-bats is also important. So setting a budget, following up, then working on conversion. Realtor.com is pretty good, but Realtor.com is zip code specific, and they provide you with a guaranteed number of leads. Essentially, they'll charge you per lead. It's almost like a per lead type of basis, but my experience with them has been that those leads are not as ready to transact as some of the other online formats. Some of the bigger lead systems. For instance, I don't know if maybe many of you have heard about these, but Tiger Lead is one system it's a little more expensive, but the quality of lead is much higher and the conversion rate is higher. Just know that on average, the normal conversion rate for any lead is about 1 to 2% nationwide. So when you're converting at anywhere over that, say 5% or 6%, you're doing a much better job than the average agent. So the goal again is to find out which service works, set a budget, and then obviously follow up within that first 5 minutes. A couple of other basic tips I'll give you because I don't want to run too long here is set a follow-up system beyond that. So within the first day, you follow up with the lead. 4 days after, if you haven't heard back from them, email and phone call. 7 days after the initial onset, the lead came in, email, follow up again, and kind of create that same process up until the time they just simply stop responding, or you know that you're not going to be getting a response from that lead, or they just simply tell you that they're not interested. That generally takes a few weeks. So not every lead is going to convert with online leads, but it's important that you know that follow-up and nurturing these leads are very, very important. If there's any questions at the end, I'll be glad to answer them, but those are the basic tidbits I can give you about online lead generation.
Excellent. So we'll probably hold all questions to the very end after we're done, and then we'll just kind of answer all the questions in. So I'm going to turn this over to Mary Jane Morris, our broker in the Riverside County area. Go ahead and share with us what's on your mind, Mary Jane, and how you can help us, and what your background is. Thanks.
Hi, Jeff and everyone. Thank you for having me. And again, my name is Mary Jane Morris, and I am the broker for Riverside County. I grew up in real estate. My parents owned real estate offices, and I became my dad's assistant when I was 18 years old. And for the next 5 years, I did everything a real estate office needs, from cleaning it to taxes. So in about 83-ish, the interest rate had gone to 18%, and the real estate was experiencing what I had thought was the worst real estate depression I had ever seen until we had the 2007 market. He called in a favor and got me a job at an escrow company, and I was an escrow officer for the next 15 years, which provided a ton of solution-oriented training for me, which I still use to this day. I am a CAR certified trainer. I am a certified negotiation expert, and my specialty, I think, is risk management. One of the things I get to tell both very senior members of real estate and very new members of real estate is that I'm in risk management. I'm not in risk elimination. We are in a risk-taking business. Everything we do has the potential to somewhere down the road come back at us, and so we really want to be managing those risks. We are not eliminating them. That is never going to happen. So the first thing I wanted to say was that I've been so impressed with the whole Allison James team and the professionalism of everybody right through corporate and all of the brokers. I want to encourage everybody to absolutely use those resources, both the tools that are out there. Many of the agents I'm speaking with have not explored their AJ University opportunity. The tools are just awesome. I'm very impressed with them. I also wanted to encourage people to ask. We definitely want you asking those questions so that we can direct you in the right area. I also wanted to give a send up to Shelley this morning. I had an opportunity to take her up on her loan rescue for one of our agents, and I think she had it cleared in about, I want to say 72 hours. At 48 hours, she was telling me it was looking good, and about 72 hours, she had it rescued. I have never in my career encountered a lender who's willing to put themselves on the line like that. The entire Movement Mortgage is awesome with their entire method of processing. It's I'm still years and years of real estate. I often joke that loan officers don't even speak the same language we do, and I hope you won't take offense at that, Kelly. But I mean, Shelley. I'm sorry, but she really does. She's been awesome, and I'm very excited about that. On the topic of risk management, one of the things I wanted to bring to everyone's attention is as we're approving files, we are finding that contingency removals are not reaching the level of the final contingency removal called any and all. As you know, on the contingency removal form, there's 3 choices. Number 1 has the contingencies laid out in individual status so that you could remove them one by one if you needed to, or there was time to do that. You could literally go to 10 contingency removals and remove them one by one. And then the one that's most common is number 2 or B, the second choice, which is all contingencies removed except, and then, you know, usually it's loan or appraisal or maybe HOA docs or something. But I'm not seeing us reach the third choice, which you definitely always want. The any and all contingency removal is literally a legal term in real estate that means I am ready to close. It is a defensible position if we were to be litigated. It is literally an instruction, can be used as an instruction to close an escrow. So I wanted to remind everybody that especially for my agents, and Jeff and I are working on this for the list across the board, I'm going to be replying on your contingency removals that we would prefer an any and all while we make the transition, and that's what I've been doing for now. I'm also seeing that, you know, we're not acknowledging those contingency removals, or we're not getting them acknowledged. These are very small things, but those contingency removals are meant to close escape hatches and make this a deal. So I want to encourage you guys to stay on top of those contingency removals and make it all the way to any and all. A lot of agents will tell me that, well, we closed today and we didn't get there. I still want it. So it's still an important moment in your transaction when you reach the any and all stage of your transaction. So that's what I wanted to talk about today. My numbers are out there. If anybody needs any help saving a deal or getting some advice, to be honest, I'm going to be sending the people who need the lead generation, because I've brokered more than I've done real estate myself, to Omar, because I was very impressed by his pitch. Right now, my question is, I can't wait for him to tell me what other sites are available. But I hope you guys will feel comfortable reaching out to me too for deal saving strategies. I definitely have those for you, and I think Omar and I feel the same way, that we're not going to let our agents be bullied or pushed around or to go without the information they need, and we are definitely here to make your life easier. So with that, I'm going to turn it back over to Jeff, and I'll be here if you guys have questions at the end.
Excellent. Thank you, Mary Jane. And I just wanted to throw my little 2 cents in on the CR form. Sometimes you get pushed back on it, or we haven't had time to do it. A good time, and I don't like to do this a lot, but sometimes that's a form that can be signed at closing. If you haven't gotten it yet, you might want to just ask the escrow officer to add it in the signing packet with, of course, the permission of the other agent. You don't want to put your forms in front of other people without talking to the other agent. So we're just about to go to questions, but I did want to point out one small area, and that was the area of advertising review.